2.1. Item 2.1 requested all documents related to and constituting the investigation record as per investigation reference number provided. Can we confirm if we have received that document? It would appear, or that file, it would appear that it's outstanding. Do you confirm?
I confirm that file is outstanding, yes.
Oh. Then 2.2, we requested relevant documentation for purposes of section 28, specifically that enabled IDEC to initiate investigations into the alleged misappropriation of the crime intelligence /fund. On our record, that document too has not, that documentation hasn't been provided, am I correct?
We have provided, Advocate Maga, I believe we have provided a section 28.1.
For?
And that is the section 28.1 that we have.
Okay, let's just, and that is why this exercise is necessary. You recall, if we take a step back, your testimony is that Mr. Adams filed a section 27 in November 24, and that was followed up by engagements in January 25 to seek further clarification. And you indicated that the clarification sought and obtained in January 25, by then the investigation had broken into different legs.
Correct.
What we have been dealing with is the Mukwele leg, and I had understood you to say there are about, in total, 6 investigations flowing from the section 27. And one of them, one of the allegations advanced or suspicions expressed was that certain generals, mainly the 3 generals, General Kumalo, Lekalakala, the third one escapes me now, were misappropriating crime intelligence /funds. That was a specific investigation as I understood it. So 2.2 requests documentation regarding that particular leg. And now I want to establish whether or not we have been provided. We've been provided with dockets from Cape Town and Pretoria. But I didn't understand the dockets to speak specifically to this, unless perhaps we didn't express ourselves in the clearest of terms.
Chair, the evidence leader did express herself clearly. The letter is clear. Perhaps to clarify, we have a section 28.1 with regards the section, with regards the /fund council. That still is in the section 28.13, which had been provided. It is still in its investigation phase and had not moved into the section 28.1 phase, if I could clarify.
I confirm that what we have since received on that score then is the section 28.13 application.
That is correct.
And you say that this issue was reflected in 2.2 as part of that.
It is reflected in the 28.13 from my recollection, yes.
Then we get to 2.3, all relevant documentation. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry. 2.2 also refers to a section 27 affidavit.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Advocate Johnson, you hear Commissioner Baloi's clarification. There are actually 2 requests in that 2.2.
The only 27 we have is the section 27, Commissioner Baloi, that was referred by Adams on the 21st of November, 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloi.
I don't know if he uses the direct words, but we would see it in the 27. There isn't an additional one.
Thank you. Turning then to 2.3, this was documentation providing authorization for the investigation to the manipulation of security vetting process. We know that it's in the 27.
Correct.
But this specifically relates to unlawful issuing of security clearances in favor of certain persons within crime intelligence. So that you recall in the Mukwele matter, there is a complaint about manipulation of security vetting processes. But then it goes further to talk about recruitment and employment and manipulation in respect of other people besides Brigadier Mukwele. And that's what 2.3 sought to obtain.
That counsel should be in the docket that was provided, Brooklyn CAS 543 of 6/2025.
And for the record file 54306/2025, that is the fourth docket, Chair, that we referenced when we started Advocate Johnson's testimony, on which we said a warrant of arrest had been issued but suspended in June.
That would be good.
Okay. 2.4, the inquiry file containing all relevant information pertaining to the alleged manipulation of appointment processes with a view to appointing individuals other than Brigadier Mukwele. Is there such?
So the inquiry file, those matters, from what I understand, fall within the I had to make notes, if you'll just pardon me. That matter is a matter that has not been, there's no CAS registered for it yet, Chair. It still operates under the CIN reference number. I think those are the documents, Council, that Advocate Maga would have sent through last night, where there were different volumes containing evidence and affidavits, which is a matter still under investigation. It is not a CAS.
Okay. Just scroll back to 2.1, your 2.1. Are you saying that what's requested at 2.4 is part of that investigation, that big CIN number?
Yes. All of the matters, that was the only inquiry number that was opened.
Yes. And that record is still outstanding?
Yes.
So we can't gain any insight into what is requested at 2.4 until we get the inquiry file?
The inquiry file in 2.4 has been made available.
Okay.
So when I call it inquiry, it contains evidence, Chair, it contains documentation. Because the investigation has not yet been finalized, it has not been registered as a docket. That is why it still operates under the CIN number, which in itself is an inquiry.
Also, but all information relating to the subject identified here is there.
Correct.
And has been furnished, you say?
Correct, Chair.
Thank you.
I'll make a note of that. I'll come back to the issue shortly, Commissioners. Then lastly, we requested all A1 statements provided by Honorable Adams MP as of January 2025. And those A1s have been provided.
That is correct, Council. I obtained them from the investigating team on Friday. They gave me copies thereof. The copies have been handed as they were furnished.
Thank you.
I believe, unfortunately, and apologies, somewhat late yesterday evening.
Ms. Sello,
Yes, Chair.
didn't you, perhaps because of the reference to other than Brigadier Mukwele, which appears in 2.4, did you not as a result skip 2.5, which also has the other than Brigadier Mukwele?
Oh, yes, I apologize. I skipped that.
Yes.
I realized I skipped 2.5.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing it out, Chair.
Yes.
Yes, and Chair, that then would also relate to that inquiry file of 2.4. All those other appointments would form part of that file.
Thank you.
Hence, it was that many volumes that were supplied.
Most obliged. So then we have dealt with 2.4, 2.5. We're at 2.6. And it's all A1 statements provided by Mr. Adams as at January 25, however many there may be.
Correct. As I indicated, they said there were 4, there was 1 per docket, and in fact, I was given 4, which I then furnished.
Thank you. I think those were the documents we had requested as at close of business on Thursday. Commissioners, you have, unfortunately, a new file added. It's file 9. It currently, the index is being updated. These were documents that came in last night and this morning. And that file 9 should then contain the documents referenced in paragraph 2.6 of the letter. You do have file 9 with you, Advocate Johnson.
That is correct.
These are the documents as received from yourself from yesterday, and in fact, even file 8 has been updated. So file 8 has got additions. And all these are the documents that have been flowing over the course of the weekend in response to this letter. We, as evidence leaders, need to apply our minds to file 9 to see the extent to which it answers the requests set out in the letter under reference. And that, of course, will impact our approach to her testimony. So we may have to stand down some issues until after tea while we wrap our minds around the new documents. Thank you. With that, I think we are ready then to pick up where we left off on Thursday. For that purpose, I would like you to have before you file 3. And at file 3, I would like us to go to page 936. This is a Section 28 summons issued and signed by you on the 6th of February 2025. The questions I'll be posing on this document could potentially be part answered by the A1 statements you received, that you've provided in terms of the letter, all A1 statements issued by Mr. Adams.
Okay.
Could potentially be, but like I say, still have to consider the content. You, I assume, would have cast your eye on the A1 statements and are able to confirm whether or not the A1 statements provided lend us to where this Section 28 summons is. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
My view is that summons will only make sense if buttressed by a compliant Section 27, supplementary statements, and any other information available to the investigators as at the 6th of February to issue that summons. Would that be a logical?
It follows.
Thank you. Now, this document, the summons, if you go over leaf at 937, just above a signature there, above your name, which I think it's your signature, you do confirm.
Yes, ma'am.
The details of the matter are said to be as follows. I quote, "This investigation pertains to manipulation of security vetting processes which resulted in the unlawful issuing of security clearances in favor of personnel within the Division Crime Intelligence of the South African Service." End quote.
I see that.
At the time you signed these summons, what evidence did you have, as by you, of course, I mean collectively the institution IDEC, what evidence did IDEC have to even conclude that there had been manipulation of security vetting processes and unlawful issuing of security clearances in favor of anyone within crime intelligence?
According to me, it would have had to have been the Section 27 referral, and it would have had to have been the supplementary affidavits that had been taken in January of 2025.
And as we established last week, we know that our Section 27 only expresses a suspicion
Correct.
of the commission of this crime without any underlying facts to support such a suspicion. So the answer then must lie in the subsequent supplementaries that we... What must the commission do if it lands at a position where the supplementary statements do not support a claim such as reflected here? That on reading both the Section 27 and the relevant supplementary statement, one cannot reasonably conclude that a crime such as reflected here has even been committed or contemplated.
So if it's not made out in the supplementary, because that is what the supplementary sought to do, then these become problematic.
Yes.
Because one would have to go back to those A1s
Yes.
and see what was said for them to have compiled to ask for this information.
And then if we go over leaf at 938, and your summons does say the detail is contained in your annexure B, and that is at 938. There is that list of 7. And this summons effectively asks for complete applications for security clearances and vetting files for the officers listed therein, starting with General Khumalo, in respect of all the ranks he's held, starting with the Brigadier, Major General, and Lieutenant General. And the pattern repeats itself. Now, as we had this discussion last week, one can understand perhaps how General Khumalo is identified. I think he's mentioned by name in the Section 27 referral. So is General Lushaba and General Madondo. At this juncture in February, again, we have that problem of names that do not appear from documentation that IDEC has at the moment it takes this drastic step, appearing in such documents as these summonses. I know you've signed, and I take it you signed because you are the head of the institution, but the document, the summons would have been drafted for you.
Correct.
Who would have drafted these summons?
These would have been drafted by an investigator. It could have been Mr. Peramal or Mr. Padiachi,
Okay.
and or perhaps Mr. Mansa.
Mr.?
Mansa, M-A-N-T-S-H-A.
Oh, Mansa.
As being those, as being some of the investigators at the time.
Now,
Sorry,
yes.
sorry, at the bottom, sorry, Chair, at the bottom of 936, it does say at the bottom, there was also one of the investigators assigned was Investigator Mlambo. So the enquiries to Senior Investigator Mlambo at the bottom of 936.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yes.
At where it indicates to whom inquiries must be addressed.
Yes.
Okay. So he also could potentially be one. Now, we have since come to learn that Brigadier Ngube at item 1.4 was involved in the panel that recommended the appointment. Chair, apologies.
Oh, yeah. May I just refer to the part just above your signature at 937. That's the part headed details of the matter or other information. Was that meant to capture what was to be investigated? Or why is that included there?
Chair, they include it in there so as not to have a generalized subpoena. Because if you issue it only with the introduction and the background, and then you on 938 just have a list of requests, it must relate to something. So when it's put in there, that is what the investigators reflect.
So am I correct to say it was meant to set out what's intended to be investigated?
That is correct.
Oh, okay. For the future, perhaps, for those who will be at IDEC, because the way it's captured, it says this investigation pertains to manipulation of security vetting processes, which resulted in the unlawful issuing of security clearances. It appears to be stating a fact instead of saying...
An allegation.
Yes. It's stating a fact as it is currently stated or set out there.
The point is noted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Staying then with this list, as I said, we've come to learn that Brigadier Ngube was part of the panel that interviewed and recommended Brigadier Mukwele for appointment. I think I've been making a mistake, which I would like to take opportunity to correct. 1.5, the Van Vuren referred to here, is a crime intelligence officer already within crime intelligence. It's not the Van Vuren that applied for the job with Mrs. Mukwele. So, at some point I thought I'd concluded that it was one of the applicants, but judging by information on some other documents here, I think I'm wrong in that regard, and I'd like to take this opportunity to correct my error. You then have Brigadier Mukwele. The one name I haven't come across in this investigation is Brigadier D. Bobby. Do you know who that is and how she gets to be included in this list?
It could be that it is not a person who is being investigated, but a person to provide the documents having the... No, I haven't come across Bobby because they read exactly the same as the other. Sorry, yes, it reads the same.
Now, as I had suggested to you, it's likely, as you say, either Mr. Perumal, Mr. Padiechu, Mr. Mancha, or Mr. Mlambo prepared this. What do you, as the ID, normally have before you to ensure that the summons that you authorize is supported by some level of evidence that entitle you, as IDEC, to investigate, in this case, these crime intelligence officers, to this extent? Do you just take their word for it? Do they prepare a document for you? Do you have an opportunity to glance the inquiry file to account for each name that is listed here?
What ordinarily happens, Chair, is that the person who issues or drafts the summons would come and brief the ID on, we need to issue a summons to this person. Part of the investigation relates to the manipulation of the security vetting, and in our investigation we have identified what is required and from whom.
So, if I understand you correctly, when we do get that investigation file, we will have a clear understanding of the basis on which these officers were selected to be included in the summons, each one of them in turn.
It should.
Okay, because you say it should, you force me to run ahead, and if it doesn't, if when we do receive the file, we find that there is no basis for what is contained in Annexure B against these officers, what does that mean for IDEC and the Commission and the law?
Well, first of all, IDEC would have to, the person who compiled the summons would have to indicate where they've got this from, if it's not in the file, and what was the base document upon which these names were extracted and or identified.
It can't.
And the basis.
Continue.
Sorry, the basis on which the names were identified and the purpose for which they were identified.
It can't be that person only. It would have to be you as well. Ultimately, you are the person that authorized, only your signature appears here, not this other person that you are referring to. So we, as we sit here, look to you to furnish the information that you say someone else would have to furnish.
I agree. Once the information is furnished, that we have to go through that information.
No, I think the question also is as at the time you signed, what was your understanding with regard to what Advocate Sello is asking you about? Because as at the time you signed, your mind should have focused on the issue Advocate Sello is raising, or not?
The issue I focused on, Chair, was the briefing by the investigator,
yes.
indicating what was required and why and from whom. It was a briefing, and then I signed the subpoena.
Yes, but you accept that as you sign, you accept that you are satisfied with everything that's on here, including the annexures, that everything is what it should be, which is why you sign.
Correct.
All right, thank you.
So you did satisfy yourself that these names are correctly included in the summons?
I had no doubt sorry, my English escapes me. I had no doubt, I had no reason to doubt the briefing that was given to me by the investigator. So I didn't ask for a sorry, Counsel. I didn't ask for a document. I was satisfied with the briefing that I was given. That as an investigation team, they identified that this is the investigation that is outstanding. This is what they require for the investigation, and this is what it is that must be subpoenaed.